Welcome back, folks. I'm driving my KV-4 in a Tier 9 game on the new Windstorm map. It's, once again, almost fully upgraded. It still has the stock engine. This is actually the last battle I ended up fighting with the stock engine in this tank. Otherwise, I got all the top stuff, top turret, top tracks, top gun. So, on a map like this, there really is only one place for a KV-4, and that is to run directly towards the largest cluster of buildings and try to find a position where I can set up and force the enemy to attack me from the front. There's actually only 2 tanks in the enemy team that I would be afraid of taking on from the front under pretty much any circumstances, and that is the T-95 and the T-28, since they're basically an invincible rolling box from the front. Okay, not totally invincible, but pretty dang close to invincible from the front. With a giant cannon that actually doesn't have too much trouble shooting through my armor unless I angle really well. So here I am. I've decided that my spot is going to be the southernmost bridge. I'm actually going to set up in a side scrape position overlooking that bridge, so anyone who wants to assault across it has to do so through my fire while having only an angled tank to shoot back at. But of course, I'm still the stock engine. It's going to take some time to get there. And if something fast like those Type 59s have gone this way, I could find myself in a world of trouble. There's also the fact that something fast enough could even have set up already on the other side of the bridge here, and as I make this crossing of the street here to get to the appropriate side of the street, I could very well be shot to ribbons. So, a little bit tense moment right here. Crossing the bridge, no sign of anything, and safe. Alright, I'm in side scrape position. Back away, point my gun at where the enemy will hopefully appear, and wait. Not a long wait, fortunately. Yeah, IS-3, nice angled front armor, but this gun can actually shoot right through all but the most strongly angled armor on that tank with absolutely no trouble at all. Oop, that one went low. That's unfortunate. And that's the side scraping doing its job just right. He just shot off my track. Oh, it did 30 points of damage. I guess he'd load HE to help deal with me. Well, there we go. Lower front plate. That's what I wanted to see. No, that was just track damage. Oh, and an AMX M445. Terrible French armor. Means he's going to be hard-pressed to do anything to me so long as I'm here in the side scrape position. Yeah, just sitting here, ideal keyboard position. It's, let's be honest, probably not the most dynamic fighting. Everybody needs KV-4. You never expect a dynamic fight out of KV-4. Watch, I can take another shot. I give him another one. I'm going to take careful aim. I wave my turret to make my one weak point on it a little bit harder to hit. He backs away just in time for me to reload, so I decide to finish off that really unfortunate AMX M445. Take a quick scan around, see what the situation's like. Things are doing pretty good. The IS-3 is coming back out, so I decide to greet him in KV-4 way again, and miss again. He once again, whoop, something else back there is shooting at me. It's not doing any damage, so I don't really care. There we go. Oh, it's a T-32 has shown up on the bridge. And his little gun is also having a hard time doing damage. Another shot. Oops, someone got a penetration directly through the front of my turret there. Oof, excuse me, I nearly sneezed myself out there. I'm going to finish off the IS-3, so only have the T-32 to deal with. T-32 has realized he's got to do something about me. But of course, I'm a big tough tank. He bounces off my cupola, and don't shoot at the cupola of the better turret on the KV-4. It just doesn't work. It's very well armored, 180 millimeters of armor. Whoop, the KV-4, T-34-2 has moved away, and I see T-25-2 moving to flank me. I can't permit that, so it's time to go on the attack. So coming out here, just going to try and bully this T-32 with my superior armor. Yeah, I can't figure out how to damage you. Of course, now I've gotten too close and we're in a phase hug where all I can do is shoot his turret, so I got to look for weak points like the cupola. Oh man, I just bounced off. That T-25-2 is almost in attack position, so I decided to try something different. I'm going to try and shove him into the canal. That's not working. Oop, he just shot me in the observation device. And just in the nick of time, I'm able to turn around, and yep, angled armor bounces the first shot with T-25-2. He's in trouble. Alright, get the tracking. He just damaged my track again. But, you know, 90mm gun doesn't scare KV-4 very much. There we go, took care of that little problem. pop out of here. Okay, KV-5, T-34 right here. Thinking, all right, guys, let's stick together and go find ourselves some things to fight here. So I'm thinking about advancing on the enemy base. Our T-34 has noticed a problem, and suddenly a wild 112 appears at our left rear flank, and he's hunting that KV-5, who's very, very low on health. KV-5 realizes this and takes a dive this way. And I decide to turn around and do my best to slow down this 112 so that he can't shoot my KV-5 button. Whoops. Got a little too eager in my shot right there, but notice he doesn't aim at me. He's going for the KV-5. He tracks him, and that's all he does. I'm able to track and damage him again, and then say to myself, I'm at full health. He's not. I can see the T-34 coming back this way, so I decided to give the T-34 a few moments to get in position. T-34 gives him a solid hit to the rear. He flips around to try and face that threat, and now he's stuck in a sandwich. He bounces around off of me. Sound like a heat round, the poor guy. And the KV-5 is now turned around and untracked enough that he's able to finish the job. Alright. So now we have 3 Tier 8 heavy tanks moving together from the town towards the remaining 3 enemy tanks, a T-95, a Type 59, and a T-28. There's also a T-29 on our team who has been cowering near the base the entire game. Yep, not much good, not much use to us alive. So I decided just to ignore him. Maybe the T-95 will roll in the base and blow him up for us. T-34 is being very smartly cautious. I personally am inclined to be the same way, only this tank is so slow that really any pausing to reflect is just going to get me. It's more likely to get me stuck than it is to help me spot enemies first. I decided to fork off a bit here to the right. I'm looking towards where the T-95 was last spotted. I'm thinking I should go find out if he's still there. After all, of the 3 of us, I'm one of the few tanks that might actually stand a chance of not dying when shot. T-34 spots the Type 59 coming at high speed and it takes him out with 1 shot. Very good. We just have a pair of very slow tank destroyers to deal with. The problem is, none of us are precisely speed demons either. Of the 6 remaining tanks of both teams, the fastest one is actually the T-29. Yep, gonna be the battle of the sluggish giants is what this is. Alright, T-25-2 lets us know that the T-95 is very low on health. That's good, and 15% health is something that if I can just penetrate him, I can take him out with 1 shot. Matter of fact, any of us can take him out with 1 shot. The real question is, how healthy is that T-28? He's a Clan Wars guy. He could actually be very, very dangerous, even without... very dangerous, just right on top of the fact that he's also a Clan Warrior, blah, as well as being a very, very dangerous tank destroyer. So I resolved to try not to get too far away from the KV-5 and the T-34 here. I'm just poking over here and looking for that T-95. It's going to be end so badly. So badly, so very quickly if I find the T-95 and he's not like facing away from me. KV-5, I was wondering if you have any idea where they might be. I got these marks on the map, but it's been so long since we've seen them there, I would not want to hazard any guesses as to where they've ended up now. Whoop, they found the T-28. I am out of position, so I slam it into reverse. God, this tank is so sluggish. Ugh. Fire a hasty snapshot over the top of them there. And that's when the T-95 shows up. Unfortunately, the KV-5's ended up in the middle of a tank destroyer sandwich. Now the T-34 is only slightly better off. Alright, I decided to focus on the T-95. I'll leave the T-34 to deal with the T-28. He's actually well equipped to handle that. Besides, there's... oh boy. Yeah, I can't let him shoot that. Hey, shoot at me! Shoot at me! Success! Ow! Giant flipping cannon. I go for a tracking shot, but it doesn't go through. Doesn't do anything. And here's the T-34 exchanging fire with the T-28. I decided to go down here to try and put some pressure on the T-95. One of the few tanks that, even downhill, this tank can actually accelerate. Oop! Potential side shot. Nope, doesn't do any good. I decided to pull back before he can get his gun around. Yeah, I got the T-95 thoroughly distracted. Matter of fact, he's you can see him trying to figure out which direction he's going to go. I'm watching him carefully. T-34 successfully takes out the T-28. And the T-95 decides he's coming for me. Yep, it's going to be the slowest game of Ring Around the Rock you have ever seen in World of Tanks. A T-95 chasing a KV-4. Amazingly, this is one of the very small number of tanks I can actually outrun. Alright, T-95, T-4 tries taking a shot. T-95 pulls away, I pop out, try another shot. Unfortunately, with the weaker engine, well, even with the better engine, I probably would not have been able to retract fast enough. I probably should have sprinted across, firing as I went to try and force him. At this point now, it's the T-34 who's in one shot to the T-95. Well, they're both one shots to each other, really. And that T-29. Fortunately, the T-34 is able to successfully snipe the cupola of the T-95 to win the game. Yes! So yeah, that was a KV-4 under ideal circumstances there at the bridge. You can see just how much damage I wrought. 4,621 damage total. More than half of that was done just to that bridge, to enemy tanks that only I was engaging. So, yeah. Good game, and good night.